Hello everyone and welcome back to the final run of the day for Pottergone 2025 Day 1. I am once again back hosting and we now have I would say return, but I don't think he was ever actually on stream earlier. We have Katashi, ladies and gentlemen, who was supposed to be here earlier but very graciously agreed to push his run back to the very end of the day so that we could pull back on schedule. So huge shout outs just before we even get started to Katashi. Once again, we're raising money for the Trevor Project. We're currently sat at $80, and we are just $13.49 off of matching our pot to the total raised. If we can get there by the end of tonight, that would be awesome. So please, if you can, donate, and even if you can't donate, just sharing the stream around to people that might be able to donate would do a massive favor. Because we want to do as much as we can, especially in these troubling times. But anyway, about that, let's enjoy some good old classic Donkey Kong. Katashi, take it!
Alright, welcome everybody. I'm showing you today Donkey Kong 64 the any percent road, and I would say we start right away. So I guess I'm giving a countdown from 3. So 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, I need to redo that. There we go. Our music is gone now. That is the audio cue that we got the glitch. It's basically that the main, or not the main menu, the first cutscene is stored in the game now and is playing in the background. And we kind of want to abuse it to do some shenanigans, because I'm immediately quitting out of the game now. And we will do some stuff to give us something like the coconut gun early, which is like the gun Donkey Kong has for shooting certain objects. So we will quickly go into this cutscene so that the other cutscene that plays in the background interrupts this, or we would be dragged into it. Now we will start a multiplayer game, and then it's already over. We are cancelling it again with that was a wrong one, but it's also cancelling it. And now we can actually start the run. I will quickly check. We have the coconut gun. Alright. Everything worked. So, for the guys that don't really know Donkey Kong 64, it's basically like the alternative for Super Mario 64 and the Donkey Kong universe on the N64. It's on the same system, but we are not playing on N64 today. I'm playing on Wii U. Wii U has some slight differences. As you can see, the game might not be as laggy as you recognize it. If you already played DJ64 before, it's a really laggy game, and the N64 players are also abusing that a shit ton. They can like throw oranges and completely glitch through walls and stuff like that. And because of that, we also need to do some other strats sometimes, because we obviously cannot do them if we don't have the leg to do it. So what we are doing at the moment is we are just playing these training barrels, because we didn't do the advanced strat at the beginning. The thing I did is called intro story glitch, and you could also combine it with main menu moves. And with that, you could get all the moves in the game with just doing, that's like 6 minutes of going through the menu and doing shenanigans like you just saw I did. And yeah, we don't need that for this run. We are actually getting the moves later, and we also need to do these training barrels to get these moves. So we couldn't grab a barrel, we couldn't do vine swinging, we couldn't dive and stuff like that if we wouldn't do them now. Yeah, that's basically why we are doing these. So what is our goal in this? I'm not showing the fastest route of any percent. There are like really a lot of different routes on this. And they are mostly divided by how many tons you are freeing. Also, don't mind me, I'm just going through the wall here, like a casual player would do. It's basically how many tons we will free, because there are 5 playable tons in this game. And in the fastest route, you actually don't need to free any tons, you're just playing the whole game with Donkey-tron. But that route is a bit hard at some points, really reset heavy, really dangerous, and I also think overall, if people know Ocarina of Time, there's a Tetarito bottle route, which a lot of people like. And I like to compare this route with that route. It's really beginner friendly, it's nice to watch in my opinion. It shows a lot from the game. And that's why I decided to show this 5-ton route, even though it's like 50 minutes slower than the other route we could do. But basically, our goal is in this. We just saw this Keilamzi guy who is being imprisoned by King K. Rool on his island. And you see these lots. We want to get 8 keys in the different levels. And these 8 keys we obtain by defeating some bosses. Let's see if I can get this. This is a bit tricky sometimes. Okay, I thought I had it. Okay, there we go. So, I compared it before with Super Mario 64, and you probably know the backwards launch jump. This is pretty much the thing we have. We don't get like a lot of speed with going backwards. We are interrupting our aerial attack and get a lot of height for some reason. But yeah, what I said earlier, like we need to get these 8 keys, but actually we don't need to get all of these 8 keys. We can kinda abuse what the developers thought. They would only need to shake key 3 and 8 because they thought, okay, if you have key 3 and 8, you clearly played the whole game and you just get access to the last boss. Can I find the entrance, please? Okay, thanks. And yeah, that's why we are just getting key 3 and key 8, so we will actually only see the end boss and 1 level boss of this, even though this is supposed to be the route where we like need to enter a lot of levels. And you already saw some glitches now, so the thing is in this game, they are not really walls. Yeah, you see walls, but they are really, they aren't walls. You can just go through any wall if you really want. Either by doing something like lag, you can do the moon kick you saw earlier with on the button where we can get a lot of height. We can get triple frame perfect input to go through every wall which is facing north. Ooh, that's nice. The moonkick is actually kinda hard on Wii U. And yeah, so what we are doing now is we want to enter one of the last levels first. Because you can see we would need like 65 golden bananas to enter this, but yeah, this doesn't really hold us away from entering this level. We can just enter if we want. And now, why are we entering one of the last levels and not like the last level? Yeah, because we want to immediately quit, that's obvious, right? I mean, just getting out of here. Why should I go in there? I mean, that's the last level. We want to go to the first, right? So what we did there is basically we need to get the moves at some point, and the developers were not dumb and were like, okay, if you are in a certain level, you can buy certain moves. And these certain moves, we can kind of go around it with just entering a... Oh, that's bad. We can just go in around it and enter one of the last levels. And now we can already buy all the moves we need for the whole game. So that we don't need to like enter all of the different levels at once, unlocking one move by another, going into the different buy menus and everything. So we just pretty much, we just need to enter once with every Tron except Donkey Kong. With Donkey Kong we actually don't need any move to get all moves we want. We can also just spin through a wall, of course, because walls are not existent, as I already said. So here comes another mooncake. This is also a bit tricky sometimes, because mooncakes are... I think they are actually frame perfect if they are on a ledge like this. Nice one. But if they are on a slope, the timing is kinda nice for you. At least they feel a lot easier on slopes than on these ledges. It's kinda tight. And pretty much the only thing we want from the first level now is the one you see behind me. We wanna free all our... okay. We are going this way, I guess. We want to free all our 5 Trons, so we need to free Diddy in that cage. To free Diddy in that cage, we need to shoot at all these 3 buttons. And then that's already pretty much for the first level. So I will be careful here to not soft launch. Alright, and with that we already got our second Tron in our team. So, as you saw earlier, also level barriers are not really a problem for us, so we can just skip grabbing these bananas. Because we can pretty much enter everything we want. So now comes the problem with Wii U. Normally on like N64, you would either do the triple frame perf input I just said, or you... that will not work. Or you abuse the lag. And since we can't abuse the lag and triple frame perfect is actually pretty hard, as you can imagine, we kinda need to a way around this, and we are trying to get tilted like this. We are having a skew now with getting hit by the beaver there in an animation we are doing. And now we can actually go here and pray a bit and hope that we clip through. Nice. Let's go. This can actually be a bit finicky if you are not tilted enough. I think I can't reach it like this. Okay. Okay, there we go. That took a bit longer than usual. That's normally not a hard trick, but yeah, in the other routes I'm doing, I don't really need to do this anymore. So bear with me on these. So we are in the actual second level of the game now. I've not entered anything early except that I skipped the requirements, of course. And in these second level, there are actually 2 tawns. So we want to unlock 2 tawns at once here. And there's 1 tawn in the back of the level and 1 in the beginning in the temple here. So we are going past this and want to get the tawn that's later in the level first. And we will now see another method, of course, to go through a wall. Because we didn't already saw it. Oh my god. Oh, wow. Okay. That was pretty much setupless. That's nice. And the camera doesn't work with me. Alright. And the room should be here. Yep. So now we are getting our moves for Diddytron. With Diddytron we need to buy 2 moves, and Strangy will also give us another move at the beginning. This is just like the first time we enter Strangy outside of the tutorial. So we have a bit of downtime here. That's like the only bad part about this route, I would say. This route is still, it's very beginner friendly. It's really nice to learn, I would say. There are nice tutorials for this. So if you want to get into this, I would always recommend going with this route. The only downside is that you need to actually get the move in this, so you need to watch these cutscenes and have like in 2 places in the run downtime. But yeah, we just got our Chimpy charge. That's basically for Diddy to run against switches so that we can activate them, and we got the jetpack, and that we need for the end fight. Because we also need to get all moves that's required for the end fight. Donkey Kong thankfully does not need a move for that, so we are fine on that. And some moves also are not like required, the game gives them to you, but not all, so we need to get them now. And yeah, so in this temple is Lankytron. We need Lankytron for the end fight and also for the next level. And so we want to clip into this, just casually rolling into it again, of course. And entering this temple. So this temple is also, we are just entering it to get the Tron. Like pretty much the early game is just on to the purpose to get these. I will get some safety life here just to be sure, because this lava will damage us, and you already saw this before. If I go into the first person camera, where am I? Okay. If I go into the first person camera and then immediately I can immediately go through any wall. There's always like a bit of a twist to it. You can't just swim through any wall, and you can also not clip through any wall with the triple frame per perfect input I said earlier. It's always the one that's facing to the north. Like if you see the map, like the developers draw it, on that raw map, like the north direction, and then we need to have a slight angle to the right, and that's pretty much, if we have these, we can just go through everything. Oh, I didn't take the warps, that's some time loss. Now we are getting Diddy to get not our last con, our second last con in this temple. So we are shooting the switch and getting inside, and then we will see another method to not go through walls. We already saw a couple of methods to go through walls. No, this time it would be pretty nice to go through the ground, right? So I hope I can get this quickly. This is also a bit finicky sometimes. I'm basically pause buffering it with my camera, and we got it first try. Nice. I'm basically pause buffering with my camera and try to go as little forward as possible. So that we can clip through the ground, because the developers, they, on every overlapping texture there's like a pixel between, and in these pixel we can actually fall through, so it can actually happen that you just directly jump into this. This can sometimes happen if you set it up that you are immediately clipping through because there's this gap. And yeah, but we can abuse it and not pause just, pause buffer through it so that we can actually get this. So I waited a bit long here, but now we are resetting our game. Because one problem is with clipping into levels, the developers didn't really thought about it, that you could clip into the levels and that you don't have all the requirements. So the B lockers that are right before the level are not a problem for that. But on S-Take you saw that we went through a solid wall, and there the problem is we are kind of spawning into that wall and then are facing the problem. Just factory. Then we are facing the problem that we are stuck in this wall and we are actually kind of soft locked in that, and so we actually need to reset our game there. So here would be also a way with oranges again, but since we are on Wii U, we kinda need to rely on a bit of an RNG setup here to hope that Lanky clips a bit into this B locker. And then we are high enough into it that he's actually reaching it with his hands while he's attacking. This can also be a bit finicky sometimes, and kinda RNG heavy, sadly. There are a few alternatives, but one is kinda hard. You would need to do a moon jump. Not a moon jump, a moon kick to light the... Ah, nice, there we go. A moon kick to the top of this lobby and then kind of fall through the wall with like the thing I just explained with going through the ledges. And the other alternative is a base ward again, which is a triple frame perfect input. So not really easy to get in here on Wii U. And also this clip, we are also again relying a bit on RNG here. And we got it. That's really nice. Okay. Took a bit long to set it up, but that should be alright. Oh my god, okay, I was worried for moments that I'm in the one room where I'm not supposed to clip in. But yeah, we are basically walking completely through the level out of bounds. You saw these little sparkles. Maybe they're in the out of bounds. That's like the orientation we have that are like, thanks to the cutscene at the beginning, preloaded take barrels. Okay, wait a moment. Okay, I can't get this timing right now. Okay, come on, this was never a problem before. Oh, really? I think I'm always pressing slightly early. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I was always a bit early. But yeah, they're pretty much at the beginning of the level. There's a cutscene, and thanks to that, we are loading some assets like the tech barrels, and thanks to that, we can kind of orientate in the out of bounds. Aside from that, we would need to do it completely blind, which is not so nice. But yeah, now comes one big bind section. We need to get the not trombone, Lemao, from Candy. That is like the only instrument we need. The other cons don't need that, and we also don't really need that, but it's required for the end fight, because there are music pads on the ground where Lanky needs to play his instrument. But we also don't need other moves with Lanky, thanks to that. With Tiny and Shanty, we now still need to get the other moves. So we will first get the ones for Shanty, because with Tiny we wanna continue playing. So we are getting Hunky Chunky, that's one where we get really big. Next one should be Gorilla Gun. No, Primate Punch, okay. Yeah, Primate Punch, that's a useless one, I think. I'm not sure if it's required actually for the end fight, but we need to buy these in the order he gives us. There's Super Simian Slam. So for an example, we don't need to buy Gorilla Gun actually, that's given us by the game. And now we are going in with Tiny and getting the last moves we need. After that, it's complete gameplay until the end. So, Mini Monkey, that's like completely useless. Or actually, also not useless, also required for the end fight, but you will not see it like in the run, except for the end boss. Then Ponytail Twirl, that will come really handy in just a bit. And it's overall a really nice move. It's probably the best casual move you could get, because it's pretty much, if you already know Dixie Kong from Donkey Kong Country, she is basically Dixie Kong. That's why nobody knows why we don't just got Dixie. But that's another topic. She can now fly through the air thanks to that. And we will now come to like the hardest boss fight probably in the game. Casual wise and speedrunning wise. So this boss was actually really hard for me as a child, and then I thought like, okay, I'm a speedrunner now, I can do it quickly. Yeah, this is always a pain. And it will also always be a pain, because there's some RNG in this, so even if you get really good, there's sometimes just, if you get unlucky, you lose some time here. So there's also something now, we are entering this boss fight and immediately leaving again, because there will be a cutscene. So we actually want to enter it twice, so that we don't need to watch this cutscene. Whoops, that was a bit much. That was not really pause buffering. Alright, nice clips. Yeah, now we are here at Magic. And Magic is like, it's a kinda sad fight, because he's always doing the same amount of jumps. But he's also kinda RNG heavy because these buttons we need to press here are kinda RNG, and I have really bad RNG, I guess. Yeah, that's actually here. Oh my god, I'm so glad that that didn't hit me because I didn't hit it, the switch. And thanks to that RNG, this fight, even if you are really good at it, can be a real pain. But thanks to Ponytail Twirl, we can kinda outplay him in the first phases. Oh, that's a pretty nice one. I just hope I don't get fireballed. Thanks. Okay. That was not the way I expected him to move. Okay, now we are like at the half point of the fight. And now it actually switches a bit. We can't just do that anymore, what I just did. We kinda want to do a Z now, so that we can still get past cycles on him. And I will actually wait now, because there's this cutscene. And he's shooting lasers now on us. I will do this completely safe. And with the cutscene at the beginning, you will lose all your momentum in the air, so you will just fall down like a rock. And to spice things up in the last phase, he's also invisible now. Oh, that could be a bit scuffed. Oh, okay. I looked too much on him. I guess we are doing the last phase again. Good that we were not much into the phase yet. Okay, kinda unlucky again. I will again just wait so that he will not shoot me. And that was magic. That's like the one level boss you will see in this. And he will drop the key now that we will get, and then we are also leaving this level because we freed Chunky and we got the key, so that's pretty much everything we need. So we are getting it, and then immediately, whoops, they can quit here. And what we can immediately do now is the last level is right at the top of this island. So how are we managing to get in there? Because Kalamsi wants the 7th key, that's from a level that we weren't in yet, and if you saw it, you saw that we didn't have key 3. We can get in there with a little bit difficult trick. Okay, nice, first one done. Now we need to slip in here, where I need to be really careful to not immediately waste my ponytail twirl. That's why I'm not spamming like a madman. Oh, come on. This... okay. Oh my god. This was nearly really bad. Holy shit. Okay. Now please pray a bit with me, because I never really figured out this angle, and we just got it. Thanks for praying, I guess. Someone really prayed hard on that. Thanks to you. And now we are entering the last level of the run that we are supposed to enter with 100 bananas and also a lot of blueprints, because you see this timer at the bottom. We are actually on a tight timer here. If we would play it casually, which we will obviously not do. So we are just getting up the slope where you would normally need a use from Lanky. Oh nice, we are sliding down, that's unlucky. And we now are doing a big out of bounds part. That's probably the favorite part of the run for me, because I don't know, it's really satisfying to do this out of bounds section, in my opinion. And it's also not too hard. At the beginning it's like one of the threads that's a bit hard to learn, because you need to know where you are out of bounds. But it's really nice once you get it down, in my opinion. Ah, okay. So we got out of bounds like that on the terminal with having a pretty precise angle. And now I'm kinda lining myself up with this room. And I'm waiting for this to happen, so I know that I'm in another part of the level, which can be loaded with going first person. Now I'm going to this part and I wanna walk around this without getting into it. Which is also, I didn't say that earlier, but it's actually hard to just go in a straight line on Wii U sometimes, so just going straight can sometimes actually be harder than you think. And now we are pretty much at the end of the level. We are getting inbounds because we want to be at a different height for this. And with this terminal we can abuse again that the ledges are not pretty well done. We're just going through it and good. Didn't flip in it. We are lining ourselves up again. We are in the last room now. We are getting past the door, which needs a Nintendo coin and the Rareware coin, which are actually really annoying to get. And now we can just save and quit again. And with that, we have all the requirements we need. We have both keys we needed, we have all cons unlocked. We can just go in and go to Katashi and give him his freeness. But since we don't have all 8 keys, we will actually not really see how Katashi is getting freed. We will just see that the 2 keys are getting in here and the game checks for that, and now the end boss is spawned. So we are getting back here. We are getting our warp 3. And if I roll down here and everything worked, yes, there is the end fight. And now you think like, okay, the estimate is like 1 hour, and we will be under 1 hour, but yeah, this fight is actually about 14 minutes long. So yes, a third of this run is maybe just these end fights, and Rareware thought like, oh my god, we need a fight where every con has like a 2 to 4 minute fight with K-Rool, with cutscenes between, and yeah. You can get this fight down to like 12 minutes or something like that if you're really good. I'm not 100% sure what the time is for Wii U. I think the best time for N64 is like 12:02 or something like that. Then Wii U is probably a bit better because we can reduce a lot of lag from Tiny Face. Alright, so DK phase is pretty simple. We are just hanging here. And then some barrels will spawn and there's always a set number. He will do 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, whoops, this was 4 and not 5. I normally have my notes open, but I forgot to open them. I will open them in the transition for the other phases. This is not good. 2, 3, 4, 5, and we shoot. The next one will be 3, and the one afterwards will be 7. 1, 2, 3. Then getting on the last pole. Okay, getting on the last pole. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And that was it with that phase. Let me get my notes up because I can never remember the exact patterns for Tiny Face. Right, now comes Diddy Phase. This is the shortest and also hardest round of these all, because you can skip a lot if you are good. So we will get hit here. This somehow worked, I don't know how I made it. And now we always need to hit these two, but since collisions are really bad, we can actually hit twice at once. Maybe I can show you. No, not on this one. On this one, maybe. Yep. So like this, you can actually hit both at once, and then it's kind of done, as it will not work. Oh my god, my peanut fly through it. That would have been horrible. Alright, so we got 2 out of 5 tons done. We are nearing us to the end of this whole day 1 and the end of this run with that. So now comes the second hardest phase probably. It's really easy to also mess up lengthy phase because it can sometimes be a bit tricky to hit these buttons that will appear in a moment, and with these buttons we will get some barrels up. These barrels will spawn a banana we can throw them, and we want him to slip like on Mario Kart or something like that. Oh my god, he hit me, that was pretty bad. So he is turning there, slipping on it, and then we are going to the next one. Yeah, I got a kinda fast cycle, I guess. This next one is, in my opinion, the hardest, because I also always mess up the camera. Yeah, we are not getting it. I didn't trust it myself enough to just do it like that, so we are taking it easy. My camera was still locked. Yeah, and that can happen if you have too much momentum. So we might need to do an extra cycle here. We will just wait here for him. And there was Lanky Phase, and if I see it right, this could actually be PB pace for this route. So my PB is 18 minutes faster than this and 1 ton route, but on this route I have a 49.41. And it's actually on PB pace now. That's crazy. I didn't thought that I would come close to the PB, to be honest, because I've got a lot better at a lot of tricks like the moon kicks. You saw I got a lot of them first try, except like the one with the button. That one is pretty hard still. But even the tricks I'm not used to do anymore went pretty smooth. This run was actually pretty nice and a pretty nice showcase in my opinion so far. And as I said earlier, this run, it's crazy how the learning curve of this is. It's like one of the easiest runs probably to learn the first time. But it has so much depth. Like, once you are getting into the really hard strats, they are really hard and you can reset a lot of runs to them. But the beginning is actually quite nice. You can do a lot of low resets because there are not so many threads. And the community is also really helpful with this game. You can always ask in the Discord if you have any problems, and there will probably be immediately an answer. So this fight, as I said earlier, is actually super lady in his shoe here. Also kind of disgusting what Rare was thinking with this. Getting into his shoes and shooting his toes. But yeah, on N64 this has a shit ton of lag, so you kind of need to look down after each shot. You're also doing this with oranges and not normal feather bow. But yeah, since we are on Wii U, we don't really have much lag. It's maybe a bit laggy in there, but not too much that we would lose a lot. We are probably losing a few frames or something like that. So we don't need to do any lag reduction strikes, thankfully. And these patterns are also like most things in this game, and also on the N64 it was pretty common back then, I would say. Most things are set in this game, so these cycles, they just have a node where I see all the cycles of the toes which are coming forth and which are staying back. And I can always go by these. Okay, that was a bit weird. And this is also the last phase of this phase. Weird to say that, but yeah. After that we only have Chantiton left, who's also the best con in my opinion, just throwing this basically out there. So time will be coming up on the last punch that Chanti will do, which is the fourth one, I think, but I will say it like 10 seconds before I learn which punch it really is. So on this one we first need to get to the button, and he's always debating us at the beginning there, so you always need to dodge him. Then we are going invisible. With that, we can see the barrel now. And now we get into the barrel and get big. And now you wanna punch King Rule on the nose. And that we are doing 3 more times, and then that was the beautiful run of DJ64. If you are also looking for a longer run in this, I actually started with no levels early in this. It's also a really cool run, in my opinion, which I'm grinding at the moment. If I'm not grinding HP 1 for a bit. Okay, he debated me on that one. Alright, and on the next punch, he will do like a zigzag, and yeah, when the cutscene begins and the punch connects, there will be time. Oh my god, he's getting me so... Alright, so time is coming up. And we are done. And that was actually a 6-second PB on this route somehow. I don't know how that was a PB, but yeah.
Well, GG's on the road.
Thank you, thank you.
And thank you for the run. Once again, thank you for bringing it to us, even if it was slightly not at the planned
Yeah,
time.
no problem.
Today's been a little bit chaotic in terms of the day, but I think we've had a pretty good day overall. So thank you to Taffy for bringing another nicely to a close. Do you have any final words about your run?
It was a really nice run. I really enjoyed showing it off. As I said before, really nice run to get into this game, and yeah. Have a nice day, night, everyone, I guess.
Awesome. Well, that is going to be it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching day 1 of Pottergone 2025. For those of you that aren't aware, we are now not doing what some would call the graveyard shift. We are stopping the stream, basically. We are concluding. So I want to take a moment and just say a humongous thank you. So there's a lot of people that went out today. Without them, today would not have worked. I want to say a special thank you to Blaze for stepping in literally at the 11th hour yesterday when someone couldn't do some hosting today. So Blaze literally stepped from doing one thing to another. Like literally at 1 AM I DM'd him saying, "Hey, can you do this?" And he was completely down for it. I also want to say a huge thank you to Sherb for his hosting. I also want to say, even though he didn't get to do it, I want to say a huge thank you to Forgetful, who was supposed to be hosting, but unfortunately had some unforeseen circumstances come up. Because he did offer to host when we had a shortage for today. So that was very much appreciated. I also want to say a humongous thank you to everyone that's run today for their patience and their understanding as we've gotten over the teething problems. And I want to say a huge, humongous thank you to both Pax and Lily for their hard work and their dedication today through a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, and a lot of wanting to bang their heads against the wall. They've both really worked hard today, and I think their efforts need to be acknowledged. I kind of fucked off for a bit earlier on, so I don't deserve the thanks, but those two have worked hard today, so they deserve all the appreciation. Also, as everyone, I say thank you to Islia. Yeah, Islia especially, but Ilish is the person I was trying to name. I always get those two mixed up. I want to say thank you to Ilish as ever for the wonderful layouts. we are using the same ones as last year, but they are just so good that, in my opinion, it's worth using them again because they are awesome. She's done a really good job with them. She did the layouts for Pottergone 9, Pottergone 24, and now obviously 25, and Pottergone 10 as well. Really awesome layouts. She does a lot of graphical work. Definitely go and check her out as well. But yeah, I think that is gonna be it for today. We will be back at about 5:20 a.m. UTC. So whatever that is for you in your time zone, and you can see it on the schedule. We managed to raise a total of $80 today, which was decent. I'm hoping we can do more over the weekend as more people come in and are more available. It's a bit of a weird one this event because we don't have any incentives, so it's kind of just asking people to donate out of their own goodwill. We're not donating for you to see Flo in a maid outfit, for example. So any donation is greatly appreciated. Particularly want to say thank you to people that have come along for the first time, either running, commentary, or even just in the chat. It really does mean a lot that you guys come along and check out our little marathon over here that we're doing our best over here. We're kicking. So thank you everyone. Lily, do you have anything you want to add? As our resident tech friend today?
No, you've covered everything.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much again, everyone. Well, like I say, we'll be back at about 5:20 a.m. UTC tomorrow with Flo's run. He'll be doing. That was what I wanted to do. I wanted to give a sort of a brief overview of tomorrow. I'm not going to say everyone, but we've got Toy Story, we've got Shrek 2, we've got Super Mario, we've got Poppy, we've got Resident Evil, we've got Hercules, we've got Red Dead Redemption, Subnautica, SpongeBob, Watch Dogs, I might as well name them all now, Monsters Inc., Donald Duck. I'm moving my hands around like I'm some sort of gangster, I don't know why. The Godfather, and that game that Drix is playing that I cannot pronounce. Something Gallia? How do I pronounce that?
Pseudo-Regalia.
Pseudo-regalia.
Yeah.
What they said. what they said. But anyway, guys, I think we will end it there. I have a potential eyes on a raid target. I just want to make sure they're not ending, but I don't think they are. And I think we're good. So we're going to go ahead and raid. Hang on, they've just reset. I don't want to raid someone who's about to end the stream. Let me waffle for a bit longer while we see if they're going to carry on. What was everyone's favourite run today? What was everyone's favourite run? I really enjoyed the GTA 3 one, personally. I mean, I enjoyed them all, but the GTA 3 one was a lot of fun to watch. I really enjoy that game. Anyone have any favourite runs in the VC?
Of course, the Donkey Kong. And I as well really liked the Chicory run. That was great.
The Chicory run was a really cool run. That game was really good. I didn't see Zelda. I was away, unfortunately. I will have to go back and check the VOD. We will be, of course, uploading all the VODs to YouTube. They will be highlighted on Twitch, but they will be also going onto YouTube. If there's any runners that have PB'd or just wanted to, link the runs somewhere, use the YouTube one because we'll be getting rid of the Twitch one eventually because of Twitch's BS stuff. Anyway, we're excited the person who I was looking to raid is carried on. So we're going to go ahead and raid someone from the HP community, but more the LEGO community. We're going to go raid Captain Baxo, who has done runs at our events before. He is doing some LEGO Harry Potter Years 1 to 4, and he's gotten a new PB today, it seems. So, awesome news for him. Thank you so much, everybody, for all the love and support today. We've managed to raise $80 so far. Can we manage to double that maybe tomorrow? We will see. But thank you so much, everyone. Join us again tomorrow, as I say, at 5:20, 5:20, sorry, UTC for some Toy Story Flow, everybody's favourite French runner turned German. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, and hopefully see you tomorrow for more Pottergone shenanigans.